I don't know how you can impeach somebody who's done a great job.
A bold assertion from a man facing the biggest White House scandal in a generation. President Trump also gave himself an A+ for job performance, but make no mistake, his sit-down with Fox News was all about damage control and trying to distance himself from Michael Cohen's crimes.
It's called flipping, and it almost ought to be illegal. You get 10 years in jail, but if you say bad things about somebody, in other words, make up stories if you don't know, make up stories, they just make up lies. Alan Dershowitz said, compose, right? They make up lies. I've seen it many times. They make up things, and now they go from 10 years to they're a national hero. They have a statue erected in their honor. It's not a fair thing, but that's why he did it. He made a very good deal.
I wish there was a pushback from the reporter, but there was none. Criminal defense attorney Bob Bianchi joins me now. He's host of Law and Crime. So, flipping. He's talking about Michael Cohen entering into a plea deal with prosecutors and telling what he knew about these payments to Stormy Daniels and to Karen McDougal. You know, as you know, Michael Cohen said the president directed him to make those payments. So, what do you think the president is trying to say about flipping? It should become illegal?
First of all, good morning, Carol. You know, these conversations are really amazing. I will say this. There is definitely some things prosecutors do with regard to quote-unquote flipping witnesses that has been the subject of great controversy for a long time, but not in a case where there is significant documentary evidence and other evidence to support what the cooperating witnesses said, and in fact statements from the target, if you will, Donald Trump, if he is a target, and his legal team. So yes, there have been abuses with cooperating witnesses that basically got on a witness stand and had no verification. That is not this kind of case. And what my last point on this, Carol, which I love, is I'm glad everybody now is a civil rights attorney concerned about the Constitution and due process of criminal defendants. Well, where are you with all the little guys that are out there where this is happening every single day? But it is a proper prosecutorial investigative technique so long as it's done judiciously and lawfully.
Well, here's the thing. It's difficult to know who's telling the truth because the president has had conflicting statements over these payments to Stormy Daniels, right? In the Fox interview, Trump said he knew about the payments to Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal, but only later on. Let's listen to that.
Did you know about the payments?
Later on, I knew. Later on. But you have to understand, Ainsley, what he did, and they weren't taken out of campaign finance. That's a big thing. That's a much bigger thing. Did they come out of the campaign? They didn't come out of the campaign. They came from me.
Okay, so he said he knew about these payments later on. But in April, this is what Mr. Trump said. A reporter asked him, did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels? Mr. Trump answered no. The reporter followed up. Then why did Michael Cohen make the payment if there was no truth to her allegations? Mr. Trump said, you'll have to ask Michael Cohen. Michael's my attorney. You'll have to ask Michael. So what are we to believe from the president? He claims Michael Cohen is lying, but is it Mr. Trump not being entirely truthful too?
You know, you can stretch the rubber band of credibility so much until it snaps, Carol. Let's not forget the fact that there is a tape that Michael Cohen has provided. And you would also have to ask yourself the common sense question, why would Michael Cohen set up a separate corporation, take out loans, use money to pay that corporation, and then all of a sudden the Trump campaign is paying $35,000, or the Trump organization is paying $35,000 a month, and it's being logged as legal fees when that's not what it was. And by the way, it was greater than the payment that Michael Cohen made. I mean, obviously, these changing statements and the manner in which this money is moving around bespeaks of what we call consciousness of guilt. That is not the way things are done. And every time they open their mouths and they try to give a different story is something that's nicking at their credibility. You would have to strain all credulity to believe that ahead of time he didn't know, especially in light of that Michael Cohen tape.
All right, I have to leave it there, but I'm sure there will be more to come. Robert Bianchi, thanks as usual.